Hello guys, it's Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we are here with another Hell Hero decks. Hope not to be boring, but we have these insane number of ideas, and I just wanna share them with you guys, hoping that you like them. Before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So here with, of course, the Supreme King and nobody else to show you the updated version of the Evil Hero PURGATRIO. So this is not a new idea. I mean, as soon as we've got access to Dark Fusion, for all of you that already follow the channel, you know that I like to, play with PURGATRIO because it is a Fiend Fusion type monster, so it can be summoned with Dark Fusion. Why do we want to summon PURGATRIO with Dark Fusion? Because in the turn it is summoned, it cannot be targeted by your opponent's spell, traps, or card effects this turn, so it becomes untargetable. And the problem though was, how to look for your Dark Fusion. And in fact, back in the day, we had to play the other skill that was, what was the name? It was like Evil Play, Evil something, what it was? Evil Change, sorry. Because with Evil Change, what we could do was to return one Evil Hero from our hand back to the deck to add the Dark Fusion from our deck to our hand. But now we do not have to play that skill. Why? Because we've got a Dusted Gold that can search the Dark Fusion alone. So it's just that easy that now we can play Supreme King's Castle Revelation. And thanks to that, now this deck becomes an OTK bringer. Why? Because now not only PURGATRIO is untargetable thanks to Dark Fusion, but now thanks to Supreme King's Castle Revelation, we can play with the field spell without playing it in our deck, and he gets a boost up to 8 multiplied by 300, so 2400, something like that. So it becomes pretty big. Oh, it's 12. 200 or 300, I can't remember. Let's see actually just a moment this. Oh, 200, so it's up to 1600. And PURGATRIO is already a big boy because thanks to its fact that gains 200 attack for each card your opponent controls. So of course it becomes untargetable. That's pretty big. So that's of course the main combo of the game. So how can we play that? So the first problem is that we need a fire type monster, to play PURGATRIO, to summon PURGATRIO, and this time I've chosen Jet Synchron. Why? Because Jet Synchron is just so useful because when it's in the grave, you can actually summon him back by discarding a card. And why this effect can be useful for us? Because Dark Fusion is not like Dark Calling. We cannot banish monsters from the grave. We need to have the monsters we want to use as substitute material, as fusion materials, in our hands on our field. So having the chance to recycle Jet Synchron from the grave, it's really useful. Plus it is a tuna, so if we manage to have both Jet Synchron and Alistair the Invoker, or as well our Evil Hero that's at gold, we can go into any synchro summon of a level 5. And what's the level 5 we have just chosen is a Jet Warrior. Why? Because Jet Warrior, it's just it can bounce a card when it's summoned. Also, it is an if effect, so if this card is summoned, so this summon, of course, this effect will never miss the timing, just in case, and that's just that easy. And as well, the synchro monster is a fire attribute as well, so this means it is another material for PURGATRIO, because just think about Jet Synchron, it's in the grave, you have Alistair and another card in your, and another couple card in your hand, and one of these is your Dark Fusion. What you can do is just summon your Alistair, discard a card, summon Jet Synchron, go into your synchro summon, bounce maybe a back row, and then with the invocation you just had it, you can go into your PURGATRIO summon now that you get rid of your your opponent's back row. That's pretty cool, right? And then we've got a triple sphere Kuribo, just an entrap that can be always useful. And actually I wanted another evoked fusion monster to have access to, and the only card that can provide an invoked fusion monster to be summoned, and that can provide defense, and actually a pretty solid defense, is Fear Kuriboh. It is dark, so it gives us access to Caliga, and it can actually be good because you can just discard it and make your opponents waste his resources thinking he has lethal, but you have your Sphere Kuriboh in your hand and you just, you know, you just made them, put them into troubles. And then we've got Necrofusion, because it's not really for your Purgatrio. I mean, it could be for Purgatrio, but with Necrofusion you can both summon your Evil Hero Malicious Fiend in your opponent's battle phase. Kinda tricky and spicy play, because maybe using a Purgatrio that is just that was just sent to the grave because he's a fiend type monster and he's a level 7. Maybe actually, now that I think of it, no, we cannot summon Malicious Fiend because we do not have Malicious Edge, so actually do not mind about that. We cannot summon this guy, but the main purpose of Necrofusion is to summon Caliga in your opponent's turn. So just keep in mind, just think of a situation where your opponent activates an effect. Maybe it's just the first effect of a long chain of effects, like it usually happens, you know, especially against strong decks, and your opponent activates the first effect, you chain Necrofusion and you summon Caliga. So what happens is that after the effect that they use, they cannot use anything else, because you summon Caliga, Caliga's on the field, and Caliga says that you cannot activate any effect after one, so only one effect per turn and you're done. And guys, not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun, it's pretty consistent. I just jumped really quickly, I had 4 or 5 wins in a row and jumped, so this is definitely cog worthy. It's pretty consistent, and for, you know, for the limited 2 part, I decided to go for enemy controller, just, you know, because we have this guy that can just be tributed and take control of an opponent's monster, just because you have invocation that allows you to summon, to fusion summon by banishing monster from your grave or even from your opponent's graveyard, so that's just so good. And guys, that's it. Of course, keep in mind that when you had your Dark Fusion, before going into your Purgatrio summon with Dark Fusion, you want to use the skill to activate the field spell from outside your deck. Pretty nice. And of course, this once that your opponent has a couple of monsters, you basically win, because Purgatrio with the boost of Supreme King Castle Revelation is just so big, and that's just so easy. And keep in mind that generally you have access to double Purgatrio, because one will be summoned with your Dark Fusion, while the second one with Invocation. So keep in mind that 2 Purgatrios, one is an untargetable and the other is a no, but it's fine. So guys, that was all for the explanation, and we can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. This was actually my 4th win in a row, a rank up. We've got a duel against Resonators, so actually pretty good matchup for us. Actually a pretty good matchup for Purgatrio, because, you know, Resonators like to spam monsters on the field, so Purgatrio can just, you know, destroy everything and deal piercing damage. So, and this is exactly what is going to happen. You're gonna see. So we can just speed up his turn, because it's always the same stuff: Realizing Dragon, summoning a bunch of monster, and then, you know, boosting his life points up, and then he's got a couple of back rows. Boom, we've got the perfect peak right here. We've got the Jet Synchron, so just amazing. But keep in mind, guys, that we could have used enemy controller. If this was not Jet Synchron, we couldn't have used the effect, the Dark Fusion, but we could have summoned the Purgatrio anyway with Invocation by using the enemy controller, tributing the Alicent Invoker to grab the red Resonator, so that we've got a fire monster. So keep in mind that. Why I'm gonna tell this, because as soon as I activate the effect, you use it Forbidden Chalice, but now if I change my enemy controller, the effects actually goes through, but I decided not to because I had Dark Fusion, so that's fine. Now that he negates that, I use the effect, the skill to have my boost, then Dark Fusion, Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of that, but it's fine, we do not care. So Purgatrio is untargetable, and I already got lethal. Also attacking these little 2 guys, but even if I had no lethal, I didn't have not lethal, I could have attacked the guys, then enemy controller to take this and go for lethal. So, but keep in mind, PURGATRIO is just enough, as you can see right here. So guys, that's just so good. Just such a good OTK deck. This is just the first one. There you go. This was my third win in a row. We've got a pretty good hand, as you can see right here. Nothing to do. He decided to do nothing. We're chilling. We also got, a success to double PURGATRIO, but I knew that he's got, Destiny Draw with some hand defense, some hand trap in his hand, so we had to play carefully. In fact, this is a Lunalite, and actually playing Sphere Kuriboh puts us in a very good position against Lunalites, because they have nothing to deal with Sphere Kuriboh, and we can deal with the Untargetable Saber Dancer. So there you go, this was his play, and we are chilling actually. Then we've got the Alistair the Invoker play to add the invocation. Then I decided to go with the Synchro Shokan with Jet Warrior to banish that, because I mean the effect just make it comes back to hand, but the fact says that if his card is special summoned from the grave, then when he leaves the field it gets to be banished, so that's the reason. Then invocation to go for the PURGATRIO, and we're chilling because we can recycle of course our invoker, so we've got all the fusion materials we need back in the hand. So I decided to attack to waste his hand trap because I knew he had some, and because I'm chilling right now, because even if he summons Saber Dancer with the the fox from the to the grave that puts our PURGATRIO to 0, we've got the Sphere Kuriboh, so we are chilling. Definitely chilling. Destiny Draw is fine. So again, we've got the Emerald Bird to discard the Martin and have another Lunalite fusion. There you go, effect of Martin again, then Lunalite fusion of course to summon the Saber Dancer, sending this from the fox from the grave, so you can put my attack to 0, and with Emerald Bird you can recycle a monster, as you can see right here, and then he just attacks, but Sphere Kuriboh says no thank you, and now we're more than chilling, because now look at this, Let's Gold got another Dark Fusion even if we do not need that, Supreme King's Castle Revelation. Then we've got Summon Hollister to grab the invocation. Now we can play Dark Fusion, but we wanna use the Jet Warrior, so that we've got the third spot for the third PURGATRIO. Invocation. So that's the thing, you want to have triple PURGATRIO right here because he has 5 cards in his hand. One of that is a monster because he just make the monster come back to hand with the effect of Martin, but he has 4 cards, so he could have at least a couple of hand traps, right? But with triple PURGATRIO I feel pretty confident that I have lethal right here. So invocation to grab the Hollister, and look at this. First PURGATRIO, he says no thank you, but we're not done. With the second one, we're just chilling, sang the Malicious Fiend, and we do not even have to use the Alistair effect from the hand, we already have lethal, that's how you do it, this deck is just so strong. Third duel, my boys, what we got here, this is Magnet Warrior. They actually get a lot of fame lately, thanks to the Gorgonic Guardian. Of course, as I told you guys, this can really be in the tier list, and so we've got a pretty good hand. I mean, we've missed of course the fire type attribute, that's a bad thing actually, but at least we've got some cards that can let us add cards to our hand, so to thin the deck, that's the goal to add Dark Fusion, Alistair to add the invocation, so that's fine. Delta again, and now he can go into the Malevolent Scene. Actually, I thought it was going to go for the Diamond Direwolf, but that's fine. Decided to attack and not use the effect, maybe not to waste it. It's good to me, I mean. So boosting up, that's fine, and my controller to survive another turn, and he's got just to attack. I decided to enemy controller that, and then if I'm not wrong, we drew a Sphere Kuriboh, so we're still chilling. Let's see if he wastes his resources to go deep, to go all in. He decided not to, just attacking and use the Kuriboh, so that now I have access to Kaldiga, Necrofusion, it's not, useful right now. He's got the attack, so boom, Necrofusion right here to go into Kaldiga, into my opponent's turn, then attacking my Invoker to save him, so I can save the day, even if, I could have actually let the attack go through and destroy my Caliga. But I mean, that's fine. Then we've got finally the Jet Synchron, the skill to play the Supreme King Castle, then Invocation to go for Purgatrio, and keep in mind that we did not perform the normal summon yet. Keep in mind that. So Floodgate, that's nice that you use the Floodgate on an invoked Purgatrio summon with Invocation, because now there are less chance that he has another one for my Dark Fusion Purgatrio. There you go, Alistair to grab again the Invocation, then Dark Fusion to use the Purgatrio that was just floodgated. First invoked Purgatrio, we are not done yet. We could have learned, right? Yes, we could have used the Invocation right here to summon another one, but you know why I didn't? Because there was no need. I mean, as soon as this one is untargetable, he cannot use any of his back rows. I felt no delay, and there was no point in summoning the other one, because with Caliga on the field, only one monster can attack per battle phase, plus I have lethal. So there you go, Supreme King's Castle effect to boost up. And we do not need Alistair from our hand, so that's why we're chilling. That's how you do it, guys. There you go. Lashed, but not leashed. New deck, Melodius. Sorry, guys. So not a so good hand to begin with, actually. So keep in mind, guys, that you can replace actually one of the Necrofusion with another 5-type monster, and maybe it could be the Fairy, the Fortune Fairy N. Then when you draw her, you can just pop a back row. That can be a good, replacement if you feel the deck. If you feel that you have to wait too much to get to your 5-type monster, that's actually a good replacement to use. So there you go. We've got the Bloom Prima. The problem with the Melodius when you play Invoked is that we do not have access in the game to the invoked fusion monster that used the light monster. So actually, when you play against a light type deck, you cannot use an invocation with your opponent's graveyard. So, and actually this guys was a not TK play, because this little girl can attack twice. So I had to use my enemy controller. Luckily she attacked anyway, so I can grab my invocation, thus thinning the deck, and then Ostinato to pop that, and she gets to summon the Materials back to the field. So actually Ostinato is such a cool card, such a cool spell card. And boom, it's got a pretty, and look at this, it was just, guys, it was just so lucky. Jet Synchron, Jet Warrior Synchro summon to begin with to get rid of one of back row, and as you can see, Faintless Chain, there you go, because we do not have Dark Fusion right here. So then Invocation to go with the Purgatrio and keep the Jet Synchron in the grave, because the Jet Synchron was useless, the Jet Warrior was useless, to recycle the Alistair. And if I'm already summoned, right? Yes, I summoned the Jet Synchron. So just attacking, guys. He's got nothing else. I also got, of course, a couple of Necrofusions. And my opponent's turn was in a safe position. I could have summoned a Purgatrio to defend myself. So that's how you do it. Purgatrio is just so broken, my boys. So guys, I hope all the Invokers fan enjoyed this. This is definitely cog-worthy, my boys. Just to say it again, the only problem with this deck is that we only play 3 5-type attribute. Maybe we should play something else. And you can actually do it, maybe replacing one of the Necrofusion with another 5-type monster. But the problem is that you do not have really nothing that is, that is functional with the deck. I mean, you can play another, I don't know if we have it, we can play another fire-type monster, tuner, level 1, alongside Jet Synchron, but then you cannot, you cannot use, maybe we could, now that I think of it, we could play tuning. We could play tuning, right? So that we can just play another Jet Synchron straight away. That's pretty good. We definitely could play tuning. So keep in mind, you can play tuning. So guys, that was all for the explanation and the commentary on replays. I hope you enjoyed all of this. Of course, feel free to ask me whatever you want in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.